introduce myself first. I am Reverend Ibrahim Nasser. I am the head of the Presbyterian Church, National Presbyterian Church of Aleppo. And let me introduce you to my colleagues who are with me. I will start with Reverend Abdullah Hamsi. He is the head of the Alliance Church, National Alliance Church of the city of Aleppo. And I come here to our elder in our church. His name is Imad Al-Khal. He's an elder in the church, and at the same time, he's the secretary of the Christian leaders of the city of Aleppo. Beside him, Mr. Hassan Haddad, he is an elder again in the Presbyterian Church, and he is one of the people who lost his factory in the city of Aleppo. Okay. So he is one of the sufferers. I will go there to Mr. Bassam Rizallah. He is an elder in the Presbyterian Church too, and again he is one of the dedicated people in the life of the church. I come here at the end to Mr. Abdullah Ibrahim. He is an elder again in our church. He is one of the displaced people from his area. It is an urban area on the way to Latakia, from Aleppo to Latakia. The village name is Al-Ghassaniya. Okay, so the whole people of Al-Ghassaniya are displaced people now. So I would like to welcome you again in the Presbyterian Church, especially in this special occasion today. We were this morning celebrating Easter, and we were so happy to celebrate Easter after getting rid of the terrorist action in our city. But unfortunately, yesterday evening, it was written over us as a Syrian people to experience painful event. People, not people, some of the terrorists targeted the people who were out of Kafraya and Al-Fu'a by a car which is very well, it seems to me, bombed. And I had got a little bit of the statics today morning from formal responsible people in the city of Aleppo, and I was really shocked by the numbers. 56 children were killed in this event, and 15 women were killed, 17 men were killed, 8 flashes, which was very difficult to know to whom it belongs, and 1 woman, she was pregnant, she was killed, and her baby in her womb too. So I'm so sorry that this painful event took place in our city of Aleppo. We, as a community in this country, we were a community that suffered a lot because of the crisis of Aleppo. The building of our church was destroyed fully. And I don't know if you have the chance to visit the church, the building of the church, because we believe that the church is headed by Jesus Christ and it will not be collapsed at all. So, but the building of the church was destroyed fully, and I hope you will have the chance to visit the church. But at the same time, let me tell you, we could go and worship God in an apartment on the 5th floor with all the people who came to that floor, although we had no electricity, we had no water. Later, God gave us the chance, and all the local authorities gave us all the facilities to build this new church, and I hope you will have the chance to meet, to go and visit the building of our church. For sure, we suffered a lot. As a church, we had many, 2 schools, mainly 2 schools. These 2 schools were established by the Western missions The first mission was Scotland mission. Later it was supported by Reformed churches in Germany and in Holland and etc. And the other mission which established our school was an American mission. Therefore our schools are called American schools. See? However, these missions left the country and they gave us all the charge over our schools. These two schools were built by West and they were targeted now by Western governments, unfortunately. It seems that the Western governments do not know their history. Their history is so positive, but unfortunately, last decades, it does not go in harmony with their history. So, two schools were closed for 2 years, 2 academical years, but as a church, we were so envisioned to restart the schools. And we restarted the academical year for the two schools. We suffered a lot. We had to spend millions of dollars to renovate the schools, but we knew nothing will face terrorist action the way science do, the way teaching do. Therefore, we started the school, and I am so happy to tell you that nowadays, the first school, which is the new generation school, we call it in Arabic النشء الجديد, has almost 880 students. These 880 students, we know that they will not be in the streets. They will not carry guns. They will not be involved in any military action. They will work very hard. We will work very hard to educate these people. So, I'm so sorry. See, when you are a head of church, you just receive calls. Okay? So, I am trying to say the reality. Okay? And our second school, it is called Aleppo College, which is an American Aleppo College. It has almost 360 students too. As a church, we belong to what is called the National Synod in Syria and Lebanon. And we have churches from very northeast of Syria. We call Al-Malkiyya. And you have heard it, according to terrorist Kobani, they call it Kobani, but it is not Kobani. It is Al-Malkiyya. To the very south of Lebanon, to Alma al-Sha'b, we have churches and schools over all this geography. From the beginning, as evangelicals, we don't speak usually in Syria in terms of minority and majority, because we know very well that all of us majority as Syrians, no minorities in Syria. But if you are little bit interested to know who are the evangelical church or the Protestant community in this country, in Syria, I can tell you simply that the Protestant community are in Syria two main domains. The first domain is Armenian Protestant church, and the second is Arabic speaking Protestant community. Okay? Don't worry. So it seems that you are a pastor too.
Thank you. Sorry.
To save the time a little bit, I will go very fast. as I said, two main communities, Armenian Protestant community, Arabic-speaking Protestant community. However, let me speak honestly with you. As a Christians, we belong to this geography. We belong to this geography. We are not resident in this country. We are from the native people of this country. And to everybody, let it be very clear. Christianity will never be spread to the West if there was no Syria. Saul encountered God or encountered Jesus Christ on his way to Damascus. And Saul came here as a terrorist and he later became a saint, as you know. Thank you. So, as churches, some people or some Western government worked very hard to displace Christians from this country. While I can say it honestly, the government did a lot of effort to keep Christians in this area because the government believes that the society is a variety. It will never be one color society. This is one. Second, the church played very important role in decreasing the suffering of the community. We worked very hard over the relief work. We suffered with no water because of ISIS and because what is called Oriental opposers. No Oriental opposers carry guns. Moderate opposers. They carry guns. I don't know how they are opposers and they carry guns. Okay? So the government gave us all the facilities. We digged wells. We distributed water for everybody. We never thought in terms of Christians or Muslims. In fact, when the building of our church was destroyed, the first call I received was from His Eminence Sheikh Ahmed Badruddin Hassoun, Grand Mufti of Syria, who said it very clearly: we never accept such an action, and this action is not Islamic action, it is a terroristic action, and we are ready to give money to rebuild this church. See, this is the Islam we know, not the way that they are trying now to invade our culture by a different view of Islam. So, more than that, I can say it very clearly, as Christians, we were not militias in Aleppo or in Syria in general. We want one thing. We want what is legal, and what is legal in Syria is the Syrian legal military. And this Syrian legal military is the only side who has right to carry guns and weapons to protect us. And I can say it very clearly. In the beginning, when some demonstrations started, the policemen, they had no right to carry weapon. They had no right to carry weapons.
They were not allowed.
They carried some sticks to face demonstrators. So we were supporting our people to go into I'm so sorry. Let me put it out. It will be better. Okay? So we were telling our children to be involved in the legal Syrian military and defend this country, because this country is ours like the others. Second, the government did very good work through the crisis. They tried always to fulfill our needs. When there was no fuel, the government worked very hard to get us fuel. Now we don't have electricity. As you see, it is very well lightened in this place. Why? because we could use generators, and the government always offered us the fuel. I don't know what kind of questions you have, but we think, as church leaders, the people who brought this crisis over Aleppo should pay for it. At least we feel so despaired about United Nations, about its decisions, about its blindness, about not hearing. What happened in Khan Sheikhoun, we had nothing with it. We were condemned and we received 59 home talk or this kind of rockets. While yesterday, 96 people were killed. No one organization condemned that. Only the Pope was the one who condemned. See? Yes. Let me say it very clear. What is happening in Syria, if the West will not take it seriously, they will suffer of it later. Because these people are used to slaughter the bloods of the others. We are paying now very high price, but we will keep our country safe of terrorists. Go and re-evaluate as Western people your relationship with Turkey. Re-evaluate your relationships with the Gulf countries. America should rethink about its attitude and where it is standing. I am so sorry to say that the church was so powerful in the West, but the church is no more powerful. People are thinking about the power of the dollar and the euro and the pound, and they are forgetting the values of humanity. So today, if you are here, I know how much you put yourself under risk to be here, but I will tell you something. You are safe when you are under the legal authority. You will never be safe when you will be under illegal superpowers who brought ISIS and brought Jabhat al-Nusra and different names here. And before giving the chance to Reverend Abdullah Hamsi to speak, I will say one thing which is very important. Don't ever be cheated by the different names of what are called opposers. They have different names, different shapes, but one essence. And this essence is terrorist actions, killing people. Do you know what happened yesterday? They brought chips beside the car and let the children go to get the chips. You know why? Because they were under siege for 2 years and a half and they were not killed. Because there was God who was looking for them, looking after them. They get out of Kfaria wal Fu'a to experience peace. They used the chips in order to explode the car, and they were killed. Is this humanity? Where is now Trump? Is he sleeping, or he is eating another cake now? He was saying, see what kind of leadership we have in the West now. When he was in one of his interviews, he was saying, today we targeted Iraq by 59 rockets. He does not know he targeted Syria. Is this leadership? We know that there is a difference, big gap between the people of the West and their governments. And I think nothing will change. The policies, not the policies, sorry to say this word, but I am obliged to say, the dirty policies that are adopted by the Western government, except you. You have the power as media. But do not let, I will not say another word, but I will change a little bit the word. Do not let anybody who pays can buy you. Nice to meet you. But we have hope, by the way, we have hope. We can build our country. We can build our country. And we are ready already, we are doing that. We have started to do that. You know, Syria was the first country which was self-sufficient. Self-sufficient. Now, I am so sorry to say, we have a lot of people who have cancers and we cannot treat them anymore. Anyway, we need your hard work to rebuild our country. Not you pay for that. Let those who did the war in this country should pay for that. Thank you. Welcome again. And I will give the chance to Reverend Abdullah Hamsi. I will translate. Okay, I will translate for him. Or
we need to have some question.
Okay.
Is it possible just one question?
One question? Do you give her the chance to ask one question? Yes.
Because
okay.
you said quite rightly so that the church in Europe has lost a lot of its power. But for example, in Latin America, certain part of Asia, like Philippines, the church, the Catholic Church, but still the church is very strong. What kind of support, if any, have they given you, morally or financially?
What do you think?
Well, I'm afraid that I don't think they have done very much.
Let me tell you. First of all, we don't need our support. We know we need the word of the truth.
Yes. But they have a lot.
When you say the word of the truth, you will be supporting me because I know that I am in a crisis because of the conflict between the truth and the evil.
Yeah.
See? Second, financially, this is the easiest thing. To pay money, so easy. I think it is not the issue of money. It goes morally beyond what is money. Okay? Japan does not believe in God, but they are ready to pay you the much you want. Is it right? Who has the power of money now? Mostly those who have the power of money, they don't believe in God. Is it right? And even they don't believe in humanity. If they believe in humanity, we will not have these difficulties. Okay? The church, I think the church did very important work in Syria, but it is not enough.
Do you think they should have used their power to convince their governments in those countries?
I will tell you, if the Catholic Church started to ask its followers to start demonstrations in their countries,
that's what I mean.
If they have pushed a little bit over their representative in the parliaments, they couldn't do a lot.
Yes, that's what I meant.
But they were silent. Today, it is not that you do something evil to be evil. When you can do something good and you don't do it, you are doing something wrong. Is it right?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Questions? Okay, I will be ready to answer everybody, but I want to give him the chance first.
We have like 20 minutes left, so we have to make the best of it.
The man said you spoke very well, I don't need to speak. Okay.
One question, do you think that the powers that are involved in the invasion of this country, the destruction, are targeting Christianity as one of the main targets? A lot of people are have left the region in the last 50 years from Palestine, from Lebanon, and now from Syria. There's this agenda to push Christians out, encouraging them to emigrate to Australia, to America, to Europe, where it's safe. I mean, how do you feel about this idea? What do you think?
In order to understand your question well, you need to see the whole picture from upside. And you can never look at what's happening in Syria without looking at what is happening in the whole Middle East. Do you think it is legal, according to the United Nations, to establish a country in the world building on its religion?
Not according to the United Nations.
How can you explain me the existence of Israel? What justifies the existence of Israel is establishing an Islamic country in this country. What justifies establishing Israel is establishing a Christian country in this area. But as you know, you Syrian people are creative. Can you explain to me Germany, who did not give visas easily to anybody in the world, to receive now 3 million, for example, refugees from Syria in its country? It is very humanitarian, sir. Is it right? Or it is targeted? Or there is a target? There is an aim which goes beyond that. So the problem that we see what is over the table, but what is happening under the table we don't know. Trump did very well in his advertisement to do presidency. After being a president, what did he do? Totally shifted his agenda, his dogmas, his I don't know what. Somebody told me, oh, Trump is a good man. I said, why? He said it very clearly to me. He's restarted the chapel services within the White House. I said that, is that makes him good? People are killing people in the name of God. And God has nothing to do with that. We know God is love. And I will never accept somebody to carry the Bible in his hands and start killing others under this name. No. We will defend ourselves. We lost 90% of our community. They are immigrated. They immigrated legally or illegally to the West. But let me be honest with you. Whenever we call them, they are not happy. They are homesick. You know, the center in West is individualism. Here the center is the family. Here the center is the church. If we do not agree with each other as elders and as pastors, but you can never imagine Sunday worship service without all these people here around. See this man? Come, please come close a little bit. I want to show you something. His feet is broken, his leg is broken, but he insisted to be in the worship service. In West, if you have headache, you don't need to leave your room. I have headache. This is not in Syria. Okay? Okay. I hope I could answer you. Thank you. Okay. Yes, sir.
How about the church in America? Have you been receiving any help from there? And do you think the Christians there are supporting the side of the terrorists or the side of the Christian church here and the nation of Syria?
In America, you cannot speak about the church as a general statement or word, because the churches are divided. We feel proud of the attitude of the PCUSA, Presbyterian Church of America. They have very good attitude. They اخترقوا الحصار. شو منو اخترقوا? Invaded?
Marlene Prost.
Yeah, Marlene Prost.
Yeah.
They
actually broke the siege.
Yeah, she broke this. The Presbyterian Church of America broke the siege over Syria, and they were in Lebanon, in Syria, and in Damascus, and in Aleppo, and now in Al-Hasake. They are now Al-Hasake, and they said very clearly, Syria is facing terrorist action, and the West is beyond that. Not the West. This is a mistake. The Western government are beyond that. So, again, to go to the church. When you speak about Latin America, you speak about liberation theology. You speak about freedom. You speak about the equality between sexes. Is it right? This theology, we feel proud of it. But when you go in your theology to Zionist movement and try to give some people in the world superiority over the others, we have a problem there. We believe that Jesus loved everybody on the same level. When he feeded the 5,000 over the mountain, he did not ask them, oh, so are you Jew? Oh no, you should not eat today. Is it that this is what Jesus did? No. So the church in America, if you are speaking about the Presbyterian church, we feel proud of it as churches here. When you speak some Pentecostal churches, we feel proud of it. I know her name is Isaac. She is in America. She worked very hard to decrease the suffering of Aleppo, of the city of Aleppo. But again, I think there is more of need in this country. More of need. Today, for example, as a church, I provide 200 food baskets every month to different people. Christians, Muslims, Kurds, Turkmen, Armenians, everybody can get from our relief work. We provide 475 hygiene baskets every 3 months. And this is all of it through the fellowship of the Middle Eastern evangelical churches, Reformed churches in Syria and Lebanon. Okay? And these churches receive their help from Western churches. But I think it is not a matter of helping. It is a matter of supporting. And there is a big difference between help and support. I help you. Oh, you need $2,000? $100,000? You get it. You go and face your difficulties. But support means you are in the battle with me. You are in the battle with me. And therefore, I think the most targeted aim of the terrorist was destroying Islam and destroying Christianity. For whom benefit? If you destroy Christians and destroy Islam, who will benefit? Not me.
Israel.
This is what you think? I don't think Israel. I think Zionist movement. Because Jews are a religion that you respect. But Zionist movement has invaded Judaism, has invaded Christianity, and has invaded now Islam. We don't have problem with Jews. We respect their beliefs. We know that they are heavenly religion. But we have problem with Zionist movement. And if you look at it in different way, 2 countries in the world are named by some people.